Alright, so I'm going to talk about a GoWiWi attack strategy. I know a lot of people are starting to use it, so I thought it may be a good idea to at least kind of show you guys what I do. Maybe it'll help you. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on it and kind of took pieces away from all of them and just ended up finding something that worked for me. Feel free to switch up the troop makeup as much as you want. What works for you may not work for me. So I guess the first thing, as far as how many troops to use, obviously you'll have a little more whiz or a little less whiz depending on if you're Town Hall 9 or 10 on how many troops you can hold. But generally you always want to have 3 golems, no more. I wouldn't have any less either for GoWiWi. And I would say 2, 3, or 4 witches. It really just depends. I would say 3 or 4, but I know a lot of people do it with 2, and they may add in a P.E.K.K.A. or something, but typically that's a good rule of thumb. If you're not using a jump spell, then I would suggest taking at least 15 or 18 wall breakers. That's usually going to be enough to get you into the center. And a lot of people are hesitant to do that because they think they need 25 wizards, but if your troops can't get into the center area, then that's kind of pointless. You're not going to win anyway. So I always like to drop a few whiz and pick up extra wall breakers if I need to, just to be sure, because you're going to run into some traps. 8 of your wall breakers could die from a bomb, and if you don't have extras, then your whole attack is screwed. So the first replay I'm going to show you is one on a Town Hall 9, and I'm mainly just going to talk about the placement of troops. And if they're placed right, it really doesn't matter how good a base is or how what the design looks like. If you just find the right place to drop them, you can take almost any of them. So this first one is a Town Hall 9. It's a really, really spread out base. And if you look, it's one of those that's kind of anti-hog. So all these defenses, or all these buildings right here, none of them are defenses. So any golems most likely aren't going to go in the center. The golems are probably going to go around the edge, but that's okay. All we really care about is getting our heroes into the center. So this is one where you want to bring extra wall breakers. I think I brought 13, just because I'm really only going to send them to this one spot right here. So I figure 13 of them can get through these 2 walls. So the first thing you always want to do is, when you find the side you want to attack from, then a base like this is pretty even, so it really doesn't matter which side you attack from. I probably should have gone from this way because the Town Hall is closer, but I chose this right side anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a wall of golems first to stretch out along the whole side. And what I'm trying to do is I'm wanting every single defense in this entire middle area and edge to target the golems. So that way I can layer my whiz behind it. And this way I don't need 25, 30 wizards. I only need 16, because if my golems are spread out enough and they're taking all the heat, you really don't need many wizards. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. And first I like to drop a few barbs just to check for traps and if a Tesla pops up, just to see if it's going to mess me up. So there was none on the outside, so I go ahead and drop my golems, 1 in each compartment, to pretty much get the attention of every defense. And then I just layer my wizards. And you notice I don't ever group them up. I like to spread them out one by one, so that in case I run into a bomb, like right there, it only takes out 4 or 5 of them instead of the whole group of them. So the golems are doing their thing, killing them. I'm going to go ahead and drop all my witches here at the top, because once I get that first layer cleared out like I just did, I like to go ahead and get my troops ready to go into the middle. And so I'll let these 2 golems here on the edge do whatever they want. It doesn't really matter at this point. All I'm focused on now is getting these troops into the center. So you notice I drop all my witches. I'm going to send a bunch of my wall breakers to get through these. So I drop a bunch of those. And it'll bust through that first wall, and these are kind of dumb. They just go right to that blank wall right there. So the clan castle troops come out. Always take a lightning. Unless you are 100% sure you can lure it out, I wouldn't even risk it, because sometimes they set up traps to drop a Tesla in front of the CC where you can end up luring it, and then you're screwed. So I always take a lightning just to be safe. And if you don't plan on luring and you just want to risk it, I guess the best way to do that is using a rage, but I never do that, so I wouldn't know if it works or not. So one thing important is watch the CC troops come out. Make sure you know what's in there. If there's witches come out, don't lightning the wizards or the archers. Lightning the witches. It doesn't matter if they're all by themselves. It's be better to kill those than to kill the wizards. So I'm watching them all come out. Wait till they try to get as grouped up as possible and they stop, and then drop them so you kill most of them. And now I'm sending my last wall breakers to break through this wall, and the wizards actually took it down first. And you'll notice this golem's over here doing his own thing, and this guy's over here doing his own thing, which is fine. So now that I'm breaking through the center, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a rage, and I'm going to drop a freeze, or sorry, not a freeze, a healing spell right in the middle. And I almost didn't use my Barbarian King ability, but I did at the last second. So I drop the rage, I drop the heal, so that way everything will be going fast, and hopefully they'll be healing as well. So the middle gets taken out really quick. The queen's doing her thing back there. Now, when I'm right here, if you want to take a jump spell on a Town Hall 9 is good if you want a 3-star. You don't really need the jump spell to get into the center, because I just did that with like 10 wall breakers. So I always like to take a jump at the end so that you can finish off the rest of the base. Because now that the middle is done, I've got all these walls to get through. These guys are most likely just going to pelt away at them while they sit there and hit the wall. So I'm going to drop my jump right there. Some of them look at it. A lot of them actually ignore it, if you noticed. I don't know why they don't go right there, but anyways, we cleared out enough of it to where it's not really going to matter. This golem's still taking all of the hits. It's not really going to do anything to him. And then this golem's still just running the track. He'll probably take care of that wizard just by himself. So now, since the witches are still back there, protected by the golems, they're going to keep reproducing and killing. And this one's going to be a pretty easy 3-star, but you noticed all I did was I just laid a wall of golems and a wall of wizards behind them, and then dropped all the heroes and the wall breakers right in the middle, and they just kind of did their thing. So as long as you you place them in the right spot to begin with, there's not a lot of bases that can stop a GoWiWi or GoWiWi attack. So that's all for this first one. Oh, also, you notice I have 5 archers left. I always bring 5 or 6 archers if I can, just in case I get into trouble and I die with like 45%. I've got those 5 archers that I can probably pick off some buildings just to save and get the 50%, because if I drop those 5 archers at the beginning or in the middle of the attack, they're not going to do anything. So I may as well save them in case I need them. So that's the first attack, and I mainly just showed you what I do for placement. So that's it for that one. I'm probably going to do one next for onto a Town Hall 10. So that's it.